Okay. A few more hours on our observation hours. I've had a few people ask about observation hours, and you know, it's really goofy because of COVID and us not being able to go and just get 2 days knocked out. So the videos that we've watched in class and discussed, plus the one that we'll watch and discuss today, all count as hours for you, as well as the assignment that I'm going to give you that really kind of counts for class on Thursday and Tuesday. So you'll have some more videos to watch on your own, and then a reflection to write up about those, and I'll share that in a little bit. But so that's going to give us roughly about half of the hours that that we would normally get for Ed 100, but that's okay. Any extra hours that you have in there, we're going to mark those off as due to the pandemic, we were unable to get our full 15, which is okayed by the state for us to do that. And then, you know, everyone that remains in Ed, you're going to end up with over 80 hours in the end anyway. And that's what our minimum is. And so for the state, so it's not going to be an issue with us missing a few hours due to the pandemic. So one second here. Everybody had a good break. It was really short. How many people actually left campus? Okay, pretty good, quite a few. How many people are at home right now with a hand? Okay, not as many as I thought. That's all right. Trying to get my video pulled up here for us. So we can get that ready. So what I had is in speaking to Oskaloosa Middle School, I got a number of videos, and we'll be able to watch those. And they're live videos, you know, live recorded videos of classroom. So really not much different than what we would expect if we were sitting in the classroom to observe. There's a few tech glitches here and there for some of them, but they all kind of work through them and you know, give us a pretty good view into the classroom. The one we're going to watch today is from a middle school writing class. This teacher, Miss Long, is a William Penn graduate. So she graduated, I don't know how many years ago, a few years ago, and actually taught special education for a few years there at the middle school, and then an opening came about for English language arts, and she moved into that position. So so we're going to watch this just as a little bit more practice on what I want you to do when you watch the videos for your assignments, and then remember, just kind of take some notes on instructional techniques that she used, any behavior or classroom management techniques that she used, and then we'll discuss it. So, yeah.
Okay, today we are going to get started. You've just completed your online journal, and in class today we are going to choose a character for Guess Who. So I know yesterday I had said that I would be choosing that character picture for you, but due to going virtual and the small number of you that are going to be in class each day, I've decided that I'm going to let you pick. Then I'm going to show you a teacher example that we created as a writing PLC. And then you're going to actually have time to work on writing your description for your Guess Who character. Any questions before we get started? All right, briefly, I'm going to show you where to go. So to pick your picture out, and then I will come around and write them down. So on your Google Classroom, I've uploaded an assignment called Guess Who Character Card. There's two things attached to it. The first thing is the cards, and that's a file that you can just look at to pick your card from. The second is the actual assignment where you type your description out. For the moment, all you need to pull up is the Guess Who Character Card pictures. I'm going to give you about 1 to 2 minutes. I want you to pick the picture that you want to write your description on, and then I'm going to come down and mark that on my sheet. While I'm coming around to write down which one you've chosen, I do want you to kind of whisper it to me, say it quietly so that not everyone hears. That way when you present on Monday, it'll still be we will still be able to guess who you wrote about. Questions about your job for like the next 2 minutes? All right, go to Google Classroom, pull up this picture document, choose which picture you're going to write about, and I'll be coming around with my sheet. About 1 to 2 minutes to do that. And once you have yours, you can kind of raise your hand if you choose quickly. Otherwise, I'll just come around and ask everybody. There's a lot of options. I think I gave you 19 or 20. After you've given me your number, you can just wait quietly for a minute or two until everyone else decides. All right, did I get everyone's wrote down? Awesome, great news. I want you then to shark your Chromebooks for just a minute so that I can explain in a little bit more detail before you begin actually writing your character card description. So you have completed one thing for the day already. You've chosen who your character is going to be. So half of your job for the day is already complete. If I go back to my daily slide, I have an example here that we spent some time looking at during PLC last night. So Mrs. Morgan and Mrs. Walston and I worked on this together. And this is actually Mrs. Walston's writing. So we want to give her credit for that. But I want to show you this example for a couple of reasons. One, I want you to be able to actually understand what we're kind of looking for. And two, it's kind of nice sometimes to be able to just see someone else's writing because I want you to know what tense I want you to write it in as well. So we took this picture off of the original document, and this is the one that Mrs. Walston wrote about. So she's kind of like a princess. So Priscilla is adored by all. She despises her position in the village, but she has no choice. Scylla, as her close friends call her, wants to be like everyone else, normal. Normal will never be used to describe Scylla. Her long blonde hair is beautiful. Women in the village envy Priscilla's pretty, soft waves. Her father will testify that every morning while getting ready, Scylla yells, "These stupid waves drive me insane. I want straight hair." No matter how often she hears ladies tell her, "You are stunning, Scylla," she thinks otherwise. You see, Priscilla dreams of becoming a makeup artist. So while she appreciates the kind compliments about her beauty, she prefers praise for her makeup application abilities. "Wow, your makeup is perfect. I never would have thought to coordinate lipstick and jewelry," her close friends comment. Those words warm her heart. Only Priscilla's friend Audrey knows that becoming a makeup artist is what Scylla longs to be. Since that dream can never come true, she continues to live her life as a princess, treating everyone with kindness. I want you to talk with the person sitting next to you or in front or behind you. What were some things that you noticed the teacher example included that I might be looking for you to include in yours? Go, about 30 seconds. You might move if you need to over there. Brendan, turn around and join with those.
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
So for tomorrow, I'd be doing the pre-testing, but I'm gonna be here every day. So what do you want me to do about that?
You'll just do the pre-test in class.
Okay.
Good question. All right, let's go ahead and pull back together and answer. What were some things that you noticed that you think I might be looking for in yours? I heard some really good things. So you want to share those out with everybody? Make sure we're all on the same page. Matt. Dialogue. Okay, I am looking for dialogue. Who was talking in this? How many pieces of dialogue and from different people? Anybody have an idea who was talking, who the examples of dialogue were? One was from her friends, right? Yeah, so there was some of Priscilla talking. There were some of random friends, and there were some that were specific people that they mentioned, right? Okay, great. Dialogue is something I'm definitely looking for. What else did you notice that the character description talked about? Josh? Her hair. It talked a lot about her physical appearance, right? What else did it talk about other than her physical appearance? Yeah, her desires, kind of her dreams, what she wants to do when she grows up. Do you have another idea? Okay, those are the exact things I'm looking for. So it has to include dialogue. You need to be able to describe them physically, but you also need to be able to describe them as a person, right? Think of the books that you read. When they introduce characters, they don't just say, "Oh, so-and-so has dark hair and blue eyes." They talk a lot about what they're like as a person too, right? So when you go to write this, I want you to pretend like you're just having a conversation. So whoever your character is, you're just having a conversation about them with me to describe who they are. A word that I want you to stay away from using is I. Don't pretend like you are the person. Pretend like you are describing the person to me. Questions about that? Yep. You may say I in your dialogue. Yep. Good job. Good question. Other questions to clarify? All right, your next step is to, on the picture document, copy and paste your picture over to this document. And your guys' document for your actual description shows up in that top corner, you know, like yours does, where it says your work, because it's a document for you. I'm going to come around and make sure that everyone gets their picture copy and paste it over correctly. And then you're gonna have some time to actually work and start writing these descriptions. All right, let's go. Mhm. You have to copy and paste your picture over there first though.
Yeah.
Once your picture is copy and pasted over, you can delete that part where I wrote in really big writing, copy and paste your picture here. Something else I forgot to show you, when you get your picture copy and pasted over, you'll want to click on it and then hit this middle button here. Does everybody see that? Maddox, look up here for a second. You're gonna want to click on your picture and then hit this button, otherwise you won't be able to move it anywhere on your page. I'll keep that pulled up on my TV. Yeah. Want to change? Sure. This is the only time you get to change them. Just like you would anything else, you can either click on it and copy it, or you can highlight it and copy it. Maybe from the other direction, like start behind the number 13. There you go. Yep, just click. Try it. And then if you just delete, and then click on your picture, you should be able to move them over, yeah. Okay, and then if you delete all that good stuff, you should be good to go. Once you get your picture on there, go ahead and start writing your description. I would give your character a name. You do not have to, but it'd be a good idea to click on the picture. In the center, click that center button down below the touch up there. The one in the middle. Thank you. Give them a different name. Name them yourself. And then click here. And space all that down so you have room. There you go. And you just need to get rid of all that. So you do have the last little bit of class to work on this. If you don't get it done in class, it is due Sunday night at midnight. And Monday, you will be presenting these in class. So you need to take some time to get note cards ready or memorize it if you're not going to use your note cards. I would spend some time practicing so you're ready for that presentation. There. You can, yeah. Awesome. All right, other questions? All right.
Okay. Excellent job by Cassie. Something I didn't mention before was she was actually an elementary ed and special education major, and so she's had to take some extra classes in order to be a middle school English language arts, at least for all of the classes that she's teaching there. But she did a great job. I'm going to put you guys into groups real quick for just a couple minutes, not very long at all. I want you to discuss what you saw. So discuss the things that you saw the teacher do, things that she said, anything that she did as far as classroom management is concerned, things you noticed on the walls, etc. So I'll put you into some breakout groups real quick. Oops. and just discuss that, and then I'll bring you all back together. All right, let's talk about this. Let's see. Let's see, Charles, Armand, Danny, Jalen, Jonathan, one of you guys. Share something that you guys talked about.
We were just talking about like how she was really active in the classroom. She was walking around a lot and like engaging the students and like asking them questions and like guiding them really well.
Yep, good. Movement's one of my favorite things. It's one of the things I push with all of my observations when I supervise is I like to see lots of movement in the classroom. You know, don't plant yourself up front and just stay there. Get around, and she did a good job of getting around to all of her students. Good observation. Let's see. Miss Benson, Miss Carroll, KP, Miss Salamani, something further you guys noticed.
What we talked about was how in the beginning her directions were very clear and she repeated them a couple times.
Good. Yeah, she made sure that not only did she give clear instructions, but she also asked for clarification in case anybody had any questions, and she did that often. And so students weren't left questioning, and the few questions she did have, she was sure to do some clarifications. That was good. Let's see, Mr. Davis, Mr. Diaz, Mr. Beasley, or Mr. Burton, something you guys discussed.
We talked about how she kind of just like kept the class on track, and even if they had questions that weren't specific to what they're doing at hand, she still was answering them. And then when the one kid got off task, she made sure to remind him to, hey, pay attention.
Yeah, she did a nice job with those kind of random questions that seem out of place, which teachers get sometimes, and she handled them and just kept moving and didn't even it didn't even affect her lesson at all. So good point. Let's see, Austin, Cameron, or Zach, something you guys talked about.
One of the things I saw when she was getting ready to teach her lesson, she had everybody close their Chromebook, so that way all their attention was on her instead of on something else.
Yeah, good. Did anybody catch when she kind of closed that one student's Chromebook up in the front? I don't know what the student was looking at, or if the teacher could hear something or knew, but she went up and she closed that down a little bit so that the student had to focus on her instead too. So that was good. Let's see, David, Casey, Tyler, Zintasia, something you guys noticed.
Mostly everything was pretty much the same as everybody else was saying. She was good with explaining information to the students, great with walking around, making sure everybody was on the same page, making sure nobody fell off, stuff like that.
Okay, good. Anybody notice anything on her walls? What did she have on the walls? Anybody look at the walls? See what she had on there? She had a couple different things posted that were really good. Actually, 3 things that I picked up on. She had the state standards. So those would be standards that she has to cover for the state. Okay. She had a post or a poster about mindset, having a positive mindset, and there were different statements that went along with that. And then she also had the learning targets. So learning targets would be those goals for the day, what they're looking to do, and she had those posted on a whiteboard. So she had those 3 things on the wall. Otherwise, it was pretty clean classroom, pretty organized. So good. Anything else you guys want to add there? And we can cut the chip comments and the chitter chatter and the group chat. I'd like you to focus on what we're doing here as opposed to what's going on over there. Thank you. Okay, so we got a few more things to get through today that I want to share with you. Let's see. So let's get to the observation reflection assignment. So this assignment is on, and it says November 21st. That is wrong. I need to change that. This assignment, I'll change it right now. Let's do this. Because today's, no, it should be the 8th, shouldn't it? Okay. Make sure we have that right on there. So this is due next Tuesday. It is a assignment for you guys to get some more hours. I have 5 videos here. You need to watch 4 of them. I'll let you choose which ones you want to watch. Take notes, just like, you know, I've asked you to do before when we watch and observe. Talk about instructional strategies. Talk about classroom management. You can talk about things you see on the walls like we did today. Any observations that you can make throughout the lessons. And so you're going to choose 4, and then you're going to write about them. You're going to write a reflection about them that is 1 to 1.5 pages, double spaced. It can be longer than that, but I want you to try to shoot for that page, page and a half, which is not very much. This is pretty easy. It'll take you longer to watch the videos than it will to probably type your paper, I'm guessing. Good writing format. You can talk about them collectively, but I do want you to indicate which ones you watched, okay? So if you want to list them at the beginning and then get into your paper, that is fine. But tell me which ones you watched. Grammar is important, so make sure you write professionally, and that's spelling, word choice, punctuation, all those key things. Think about a logical flow for your paper, some sort of intro, some body paragraphs, and a conclusion, okay? Excuse me. I always recommend for people to read their papers out loud when it's complete, or have someone else read it to you. There's even free applications where you can drop your papers online and it will read it for you out loud, and then you can hear it. It's often easier to pick up mistakes that way. And then double check that grammar before uploading it here at this site, okay, on Moodle. So you watch 4 of the 5, okay? That's gonna give you a couple hours worth of observation time, okay? That's due next Tuesday, okay? Questions on that? Okay. I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but I did not. I was not organized. Last Tuesday, so a week ago, you had an announcement that told you to either come to the Ed Club meeting or to watch the Ed Club meeting link, okay? I've got 3 people that have completed it. That means that a lot of you have another assignment to do that you could have done last week and gotten completed. The Ed Club link is in your announcements for November 24th. It says, remember, instead of class during our normal time, you are either to attend the Ed Club meeting in person or via Zoom. And here's the Zoom link. So you can watch this Ed Club meeting. It is an hour. It's a kind of an interview or a discussion with the secondary teacher of the year. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay. So with that Ed Club reflection, things to write
Professor
about.
Bean,
Yes.
I did watch the video. I was really stupid and forgot to type the paper. So it's not too late to type it up and hand it in, is it?
Nope. I just
Okay.
need you guys to get this done if you want the points for it.
Okay, I plan on getting it done today. That was my total oversight on my part.
Okay. Things to write about. Who was involved? Who was discussed? What did you learn? What can you put into use now as a student? And what can you put into use in the future as a teacher? Okay. So 3 to 4 paragraphs summary of either meeting, actually. So you're either going to watch that video or you're going to tell me about the meeting on last Tuesday. Okay. I know there were a few people in attendance, and there may be others on Zoom that I didn't see the list of who was there on Zoom last Tuesday. Okay. Okay, so that's 2 assignments. Dispositions. Okay. So we have an interview that is part of your final, okay? The interview is only 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes long. We will do it on Zoom, okay? It'll be a discussion between you and I about these dispositions, and it will be, let me pull up the assignment, which I thought I had up. So it says interview sign up final. So there's a link here and it takes you to a sign up sheet. The sign up sheet looks like this. There are times, and the times are for 12/3, which is this Friday, excuse me, this Thursday. 12/4, which is Friday. And then I have dates on the 8th, okay? If we can't get in on one of those times, you're gonna have to let me know and we'll have to set something else up extra, okay? Not a big deal for me to do that. I just, I've given a lot of times here, so let's try to get into these first, okay? And like I said, they're 15-minute blocks. You are going to blow this up. Talk about these things here, okay? So the self-evaluation disposition form, and I'll show you that here in just a second. It won't take very long to complete. The teacher disposition form is mine, okay? So we'll use my dispositions, and I don't have them all answered for you because I've only seen you in one little tiny window. But I'll talk about a few things from the disposition form specific to each one of you. We'll talk about your future plans. We'll talk about the teacher education program. And we'll talk about just general open questioning about ed, okay? That's only 10 to 15 minutes, okay? It'll be a Zoom link, and I'll send those to you. I'll send an invite actually for you that you will accept or decline, or that you can accept or decline, okay? Once you've signed up, okay? The disposition form technically looks like this, okay? But I put it into a Google form that looks like this. So all you have to do is go through and click the bubbles and then type up why you scored yourself the way that you did, okay? And what we're going to be talking about here is, let me blow this up too. Everybody see that all right? Dispositions are kind of like soft skills for educators. It's going to be how you carry yourself. A big piece of it is professionalism, which we've talked a lot about in this class, professionalism. So the first section is on professional behavior. In that section, teachers play a critical role in helping young people achieve success in life in the classroom. Professional demeanor demonstrates the candidate's responsibilities and accountability to the profession. A failure to act professionally sets a bad example and may cause the candidate to lose the trust and respect of students, parents, and colleagues. It is important to demonstrate professionalism in all aspects of a teaching career to provide students with the best education possible. Okay, so each one of these is in reference to professionalism. The first one, a commitment to the teaching profession, and talking about things like the Iowa Code and the MCEE. Okay, we talked ethics here a couple of weeks ago. This one is really ethics directed. The second one, maintaining a professional demeanor. I want you to think about yourself. Think about how you carry yourself here on campus, dressing appropriately, meeting or exceeding attendance expectations, using appropriate language, treating all people with respect and dignity. Okay. Third one, teaching candidate meets or exceeds all university or school district policies and procedures, produces quality work, exhibits academic honesty, receives and acts upon praise and constructive feedback, in a professional manner. The fourth one, teaching candidate communicates with integrity, uses professional language, maintains confidentiality, and communicates respectively. Candidates also effectively and accurately communicate their ideas orally and written, and engage in active listening. And the fifth one, teaching candidate demonstrates a commitment to diversity, Candidate displays respect and understanding for ethnically, linguistically, cognitively, physically, and socially diverse groups and individuals. The candidate upholds high expectations for all students. In this case, you don't have students, right? But you can talk about holding high expectations for your peers, teammates, classmates, etc. Okay? So that's professional behavior. Does that make sense to everybody so far? So you're going to go through those and you're going to give yourself a score. It will be on this form though. Okay? I'll show you how to do that here in a second. The second category is initiative. Candidates who display initiative have the power, ability to begin or to follow through energetically with a plan or task with enterprise and determination. The candidate has a positive attitude and anticipates and proposes solutions before someone asks for it. Being aware of initiative as a proactive behavior. The positive is passivity and conformity. Procrastination is a form of passivity that extends through time. So if you're a procrastinator, maybe you aren't going to score as well in this section, okay? And I can tell you that I have some of these traits as well. So teaching candidate is willing to openly engage and respond to peers, faculty, teachers, administrators, parents, and community as the need arises. So are you willing to discuss and respond to all of those groups? Teaching candidate faces challenges with boldness, displays grit and growth mindset, accepts failure as an opportunity for learning, and persists under difficult circumstances. Have you had a difficult time this semester, or have there been difficult moments? How did you persevere? Did you do a good job of it, or maybe a not so good job of it? The third one, teaching candidate investigates solutions to setbacks. Teaching candidate displays quick thinking and optimism in spite of difficulties. The candidate gathers relevant data and persistently seeks to improve areas of need by using resources in effective ways. Teaching candidate exhibits a willingness to take risks and uses original ideas to make learning come alive for all students. Are you being creative in your lessons? Are you taking chances when you are completing them? Or are you just getting them done and turning them in just to get them done and out of the way? The last one there, teaching candidate is a self-starter who demonstrates passion, excitement, enthusiasm, and optimism for the people, content, and context of the teaching learning process. Do you have passion about being here at Penn and being a teaching ed student? Do you show excitement, enthusiasm? Do you have optimism for, this is a difficult semester. COVID has made things very interesting for everyone. Are you someone that is going to, arise above that? Okay. So that's initiative. Questions on those categories. The last section is on reflecting and problem solving. Candidates demonstrate the ability to make informed decisions through systemic reflection and problem solving. Critical and creative thinking is used for identifying and implementing strategies for improving academic, interpersonal, and emotional learner outcomes. Four different areas here. Teaching candidate accepts responsibility for personal actions or decisions by showing an understanding of policies and procedures for professional behaviors and dispositions, and demonstrates the ability to analyze and evaluate their behavior and its impact. If you've had difficulty with, could be maybe it's attendance, maybe it's getting your assignments turned in on time, how have you responded? Teaching candidate is able to articulate their personal problem-solving strategies and solves problems proactively by recognizing the problem, seeking solutions through collaboration with others, and giving examples when the strategies worked and did not work and why. Teaching candidate seeks clarification and assistance as needed by seeking and utilizing human and material resources in a professional manner. How are you problem solving, basically, is the question there. The last one, teaching candidate accepts responsibility for personal actions by engaging in a process of continuous reflection based on relevant assessment data. Teaching candidate utilizes the systemic reflection process for problem solving and modifying educational practices. An example of that one might be when midterms came out. Did you look at your midterms and determine, oh man, I've only got a B- in this class. I really need to figure out how I raise that grade. Or did you just say, oh, B- is fine? So questions on the reflection and problem solving section. Okay, so back to where you sign up for the interview. You're going to sign up for a time. Prior to coming to that meeting, you need to complete the disposition form. This link will take you to this Google form, okay? At the top, there's a spot for you to click on your name. And then there's the key, okay? This is the same key that was listed up here, except for the NA isn't on there, okay? So you'll see 0, serious concerns. Behavior is not displayed or is contrary to expectations for this disposition. I hope I don't see any zeros. I don't expect to see all 3s, but I hope I don't see any zeros, okay? And then it goes into those same descriptions. Here's the description of the behavior. Here's each of the different sections, okay? And all you need to do is click, I don't have it open in the preview form. Let's see. So you'll click whatever your name is, and then you'll click your categories as you go. When you get down to the bottom, you hit submit, and then I have a copy of it, okay? Don't forget, all of these are required, including sharing why you scored yourself the way you did and what kinds of plans you have for improvement in that area, okay? Okay, so 2 big assignments so far. Questions on those? Okay. I'm also going to share your final with you. Okay, here's your final. This isn't due until December 10th, which is the day of your final, when you would take your final normally. This is a pretty easy paper. It's your final exam. The topic is why I want to be a teacher, or what sometimes happens after Ed 100, we have some people that say, ooh, I decided that I don't think education is the area for me, okay? So whichever one that you write about, it doesn't matter, it doesn't affect your grade if you choose not to be a teacher, or if you're choosing to change or explore other areas, that's okay. But you need to write about one of those 2. This gives you a perfect layout of what you need to write about. The first paragraph of your paper should tell about your background, where you went to school, the size of the town and school where you grew up, etc. Some sort of biography about yourself and education a little bit. Tell why you originally thought you would like to be a teacher. Tell how this class and your observations, so the videos that you've watched, have influenced your decision to stay or to go. Finally, tell what your current career goal is and what you'll be doing in your next year or 2 to help you meet your goal, okay? This career goal is not your dream job. Don't tell me how you want to be a post player for the NBA. I want to know your career, your teaching career, how this is going to, what your plan is to meet that goal. Or if you say, oh, I'm not going to be a teacher anymore, tell me what your career goal is. I want to be a police officer, and so I'm going to be changing my major to Soc Crim, and I'm going to get a job as a security guard or whatever it is that you're going to do, right? So tell me that career goal and what you're going to be doing in the next couple of years to help meet that goal, and then tell me where you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years, okay? So it's laid out, like, it's so easy to type this paper. And this is your final, okay? Here are some additional questions you can ask yourself to help as you go through this. When did you first think you might like to be a teacher? You know, Rosie often talks about when she was a child, she dreamt of being that and did that, you know, as playtime for her was being a teacher. Other people, it took a lot longer. I didn't decide until after I graduated with a forestry degree. I went back to school and got my teaching certification. So what people or events influenced your thinking and led to your choosing teaching as a career? Do you have family? Do you have friends, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, etc., that might have influenced you? What do you look forward to in teaching? So these are all things just to help you write your paper. What concerns and questions do you have about the education profession? What other career possibilities have you considered? You can write about any of those as well. Those are just to help you think when addressing these questions at the top. As always, double-spaced, typed, correct grammar and spelling. Clearly explain your decision and career goals with detailed information. Explain yourself, okay? You have to pretend that you're sharing this with someone that you're not, that doesn't know you at all, okay? Use examples, explanations, and elaboration to clarify how you made your decision. And this one is 1.5 to 3 pages long. That's pretty short. I used to have it longer than this, but due to the weird semester, I've shortened it down a little bit, okay? So final paper content, detailed with examples and explanations, 60 points. Final paper length and double spaced, this is the format, 20 points. Professional writing, that's the grammar, spelling, etc., 20 points, which gives us 100 points. This is your final, okay? So when you go to the Moodle page, November 23rd to the November 29th, that's this week, that's not this week, sorry. At the top, Ed Club reflection. If you didn't attend a meeting, you need to watch the video and then write a reflection, 3 or 4 paragraphs. Your observation reflection paper, which is due next Tuesday. This paper, this observation reflection paper takes the place of your 2 classes these next 2 days, okay? Or next, Thursday and Tuesday. Remember, you're watching 4 of the 5, you're writing a reflection about them. Let me move this. Your disposition form that you have to complete before you come to your interview. Your interview time is taking the place of your final class, which is on next Thursday, okay? Which would be the 10th. We will not come to class on the 10th because we're meeting for your one-on-one interview, okay? We will meet for these one-on-one interviews through Zoom, okay? So you'll complete the disposition form, you'll sign up for a time, I'll send you a Zoom link, we'll meet and have a discussion, okay? And then your final paper is due on the 10th, which is our actual finals day, okay? So it seems like a lot, but like I said, your observation reflection paper is taking the place of the next 2 classes. Your interview is taking place of your final day, and then this is your final assignment, the final paper, okay? So in the grand scheme of things, it's really not as much as it looks like, okay?
Now, is that final paper, is it due like before class or is it due at midnight, the 10th?
I have it due at class time.
Okay.
We would normally take our class.
Right. Okay.
Other questions? Great question, by the way. I don't think I can make it any clearer, but if I can for you, be sure to email me and ask questions or stop into my office. I'll be gone most of the day tomorrow, if not all of the day. Thursday, I'll be here because I have, if we look at our interview sign up, I have times throughout the whole day pretty much on Thursday where we can meet, okay? Friday, Casey, I'm assuming you did not cross out your name. I'm guessing that was in the formatting, is that correct?
Yeah, I didn't cross it out or
Okay.
anything.
I had last year, I'll need to touch that up. Last year I was crossing them out as they came, so I assume so. So good, we already got some people on there, okay? But like I said, I won't be here much tomorrow. Thursday I will be. Friday I'll be here part of the day. Monday I will be here in the afternoon probably. And then Tuesday, of course, I'll be here all day. Wednesday, I'll be here all day. Thursday, most of the day, and then Friday, most of the day of next week. Okay. So reach out to me if you're having difficulty with this stuff. I know it's hard with us being Zoom and not in connection, but like I said, each one of these pieces is taking place of something in these next 2 weeks. Okay. Other questions that I can answer while I have you all here?
We don't have class Thursday or next Tuesday, right?
We do not have class next Tuesday or next Thursday. We don't have class this Thursday. Today is our last class, our last time of meeting, besides the individual meeting, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, Danny? So your reflection videos are taking place of Thursday and Tuesday's classes. Your interview is taking the place of the finals day class. Okay. So this is what I recommend to everybody. Since we aren't meeting during those times, those are great times to schedule to knock some of this stuff out and get it done and out of the way. Okay. If you don't want to do it at odd hours, which is fine too, you know, if you want to sit down tonight and watch the videos and type up the reflection right then, great. If you don't, you know, you have time on Thursday from 12:15 to 1:30 where you could chunk out a whole bunch of this stuff. And then next Tuesday, the same thing. And I would guess for the most part, if you can use those 2 class periods, you would have everything completed. Maybe a little bit more outside work, but not much. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. It would not let you do it, Cameron. The disposition form, it wouldn't let you do. Let's go in here and let me.
Yeah, it said that I need permission to do it.
No longer. I just took it off. Try it again for me real quick, would you?
It worked.
Okay, good. Any others? Well, if you do, reach out, hit me up on email, or stop in and we'll get it figured out. Okay. And otherwise, I'll see you here in the next week in a one-on-one situation. Okay. See you later.